Women standing on the shoulders of giants.
Rolling.
She is driving change.
Liana, she's such an expert. I have huge respect for her. Sophia has done really interesting, really great work with us supporting women in tech.
She is leading by example.
From Zara, I learned a lot about writing your own story. With Yi Shin, I mentor her because we're both women in a male-dominated industry.
She is more than a boss.
Kim has shown me that it is possible to do well and still have a life outside of work. With Cheryl, it goes beyond just talking about work all the time.
And she is overcoming barriers.
Langla really made me feel like I was not alone. Deidre, we really did explore what we really wanted to do in life.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, clap.
Hi, my name is Zara. I'm a part-time model, a disabilities and mental health advocate, and a full-time program manager for Running Hour. I was born in India and I grew up with 5 brothers and 2 sisters. It's a very big family. Half my family is living in Singapore because my mom is Singaporean, while some of us stayed back in India because my dad had his business there. Throughout my life, I've been an extremely active person. I've always been into sports, and growing up with brothers, my everyday as a kid would look like jumping off walls and climbing trees. Before my accident, I was also modeling, and I could move a million ways, and that was just a very big part of who I was. Today we are going to be shooting a campaign for my social media to remind people that not every day is a body positive day. No, you don't cover the scarf. Yeah.
Slow down your arm more. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, just look at it. Yeah, this is good.
In 2017, when I was 20, my life quite literally changed in a split second. I was out with a few friends and I got into a car and we ended up hitting a tree head-on, and I flew from the back seat up ahead. I ended up having a minor brain injury and breaking my spinal cord. I was instantly paralyzed from my neck down. After 6 months, it was the biggest relief when the doctor gave me clearance that you can go back to Singapore. And I guess that's where my real recovery started in January 2018. I really like them.
Hi Zara, how are you? Ready for workout?
Definitely.
Okay, good. So we're gonna do the usual warm-up first.
Okay.
Okay? 1, 2, 3, up, hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, nicely done.
I joined SPD, a charity organization that is serving people with disabilities. In the beginning, I felt absolutely demotivated.
Go, 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 go. Yep.
But with time and the support that I had in SPD, I started to realize that maybe my changes and improvements were not big, but they were like happening. And I guess that slowly started motivating me that maybe I can get little by little of my independence back.
Ready? Go, 1, 2, yep. Good. There, you got it. 2, good.
I was putting in hours of effort, and during one of my sessions with my orthopedic doctor, I was so excited and I was like, when am I gonna walk again? And he was like, you have very great ambitions. That just motivated me, like, hey, you've got to keep going and don't ever let someone stop you from getting what you want.
Nicely done.
When I started posting videos of myself online, I did it in the hope to inspire others, but people started calling me an attention seeker. They were making fun of my legs. I have muscle atrophy in my legs. I lose muscle every day and I can't do anything about it. Women are too often judged, and now I was being judged for being a disabled woman. While I was in the hospital, I guess I kept questioning myself, why me? As a 20-year-old, I felt the pressure from society that, I was supposed to be married by a certain age, I was to have kids by a certain age. At that point, honestly, I thought I would never get married and have kids. When I was newly injured, all I wore was super baggy clothes because I wanted to hide my body. I was so ashamed of it. The person that you see today has taken hours and hours in rehab. But sometimes when I wear a tank top, it's like I get stares of judgment. But like, would you ever stare at a man and be like, oh, why are you wearing that? We like to dress up. We should have the same freedom as men and as every other able-bodied person out there. Around March 2019, SPD invited me to join their charity show. I wheeled alongside Zoe Tay, and I remember the feeling. And I guess that was like my spark. My body is literally the same. I just happen to be in a seated position. So why am I not modeling again? Why are there no people like me on brand campaigns? And I wanted that to change. And I wanted people to know that I could be disabled and beautiful. And I want younger people like me to feel the same way. Hi, Jackie. Good morning. There is an interesting fact that disabled women are half as likely to be employed compared to disabled men, and I hope that changes. I hope people start realizing that women who are disabled are just as capable if you just give us the opportunity. I am a full-time program manager for Running Hour. Running Hour is actually an inclusive sports club that promotes the integration of special needs through sports. We conduct courses for the general public to educate how they should interact and support people with disabilities. Initially, after my accident, I had no hope that I would ever work again. But during my time in SPD, I started meeting other disabled people who have lived with disabilities their entire life. I was introduced to Langla, who's a close friend of mine now. She really helped me get to where I am today, how I view myself as a woman and how I put myself out there.
We met in October 2018. Very first impression was that she was going through everything that I've been through before. The lack of self-confidence, of understanding of a lot of issues pertaining to spinal cord injury, and how we present ourselves to the outside world.
When I first met Langla, I was like, wow, this girl is so confident. She knew exactly what she was doing. She was very well put together. But I had like no makeup on. I didn't look good at all. Like, I remember she told me like, you know what, just why don't you like put on makeup for yourself? It's not for like anybody else. And I have this so strong in my memory.
Okay, yes.
It took a lot of practice because of limited hand function, but like I'm so proud that I'm able to do my makeup myself with my different hands now, I guess.
I mean, I saw in her the potential that she could actually like achieve a lot more. I think our hands are all over the place.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, this is a nice one.
I think Langla, from the very beginning, really made me feel like I was not alone. She was one person who got what I was going through entirely. The most valuable lesson I learned from her is stop worrying about what other people think of you, the whispers, the judgments, and just be who you are, because that is the only way you can go up and survive in today's society.
You good? Hi, my name is Langla. I'm an entrepreneur, an adjunct lecturer, as well as a volunteer with Handicap Welfare Association as their honorary treasurer, and a mentor with SPD Transition to Employment Program. I go into mentorship not with the aim of changing people's life. Rather, I would share my story with them and hope that they pick up bits and pieces that they can use to enrich their own life. I felt like I could make a difference in Zohra's life because she was really struggling to handle all the changes that's happening in her life. I have a rare spinal cord condition, which is spinal cord arteriovenous malformation. I was diagnosed when I was 17. I was actually in JC, I was in school. It was like suddenly I have a headache and I fainted, and I woke up in the hospital completely paralyzed. Following that first incident, I had multiple relapses followed by periods of recovery. Over 8 years, I was facing so much trouble, handling all these changes physically and mentally, and I just didn't know who to go to find help. And that's how I ended up going online to look for support groups. And I found some overseas support group where they actually understand what I'm going through. So they were able to give me an insight on how to handle all these changes, and that actually helped me on the emotional aspect. I run my own business in e-commerce, dealing in watch accessories, high-quality leather wallets, and fitness equipment. After 8 years in our hospital, I didn't know what to do with my life. Initially, I started looking for jobs in the open market. And at that point in time, most businesses were completely closed off to the idea of hiring persons with disabilities. They would either reject your resume or they would actually offer a grossly low salary. The highest offer I had was like $500 for an admin job. So I thought that was ridiculous. So having my own business gave me the flexibility in terms of time and handling my physical health. Because there are periods where my health isn't so good. I might end up having to stay in the hospital for a few weeks. Even with all these challenges, I would definitely master on because it's really something that I enjoy doing. Being a disabled woman can be frustrating, like dressing when we go out. So for guys, no matter what, they can just do the shirt, short, slippers. Yeah. For women, it's so much harder, especially on a wheelchair. It's like wearing a dress might sometimes not be suitable. The seams might catch on the tire. You still have to put on makeup, and it's so much harder, especially for some of us with spinal cord injury where we have all dexterity compromised. As a woman with disability, you just have such a much more higher expectation to look good. Otherwise, people will just brush you off, put you down just because you're already on a wheelchair and you're dressed like crap. I interact with a lot of the mentees here at SPD to share with them my story and what we are going through. Then every time I walk past, right, he will ask hey, how come you're still on a wheelchair? How come you still cannot walk? And I was like, it's so rude, you know. I think the most common issue is that they're worried when they go out. People ask them about their disability. For some of us, this disability happened through a traumatic experience. And talking about it is like reliving this traumatic experience. This kind of situation is more prevalent for women because generally people think that women are more approachable, more emotional and share about their story. So you just tell them straight out, I don't want to talk about it, and it's totally fine. I mean, if you're expecting people to empathize with your disability, you have to empathize that most people do not understand what disability is. And at the end of the day, you just have to be comfortable in your own skin, be confident, be firm. The biggest advice that I gave Zahra is that she needed time to grieve and accept her disability. And it's only through acceptance that you start making small changes in your life and pretty much start learning to live with the disability. I'm very, very proud of Zahra's achievement. Because within these communities in Singapore, I believe that there really are a lot of people who need to hear about our stories to know that it's still possible to realize your potential.
Miss Laura!
Hello!
Hi!
Let me just get inside.
Thanks for coming.
It's so nice to finally meet you after all the Zoom sessions.
Miss Laura, here's your coffee.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, the hat looks so cute.
You came on a really lucky day.
Job.
I usually struggle to make coffee art.
I was actually assigned as a mentor for her, and we were connected through Tomo work.
This mentorship program was about how I can learn from her experiences.
Through our sessions, we really did explore what we really wanted to do in life and what our ambitions were, I guess.
And we clicked.
And we definitely clicked.
I can share with her and she doesn't judge me. I guess she could see that I was overthinking and I was very stressed. So she telling me like, take one step at a time. I think the repeated message helped me.
I did not define ourselves with our disabilities, like mine being like a very physical and very visible disability and hers being invisible. I saw her as this very young, very driven person, and I could relate to that because I was exactly the same way when I was younger.
Hi, I'm Deidre Soh. I just graduated from Temasek Poly, studying hospitality and tourism management. I am currently working at my sister's cafe, learning to be a barista. And I have a hidden disability, ADHD, also known as attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. So with all the mentorship sessions that I have with Ms. Zora, I wanted to put less pressure on myself by choosing a gap year where I get work experience rather than going straight into a degree. And I'm having fun learning how to do some latte art, which I've never done before. I've improved. The other day I could actually make a lotus. Yeah. Little things like this make me feel more proud of myself. Growing up, I didn't feel that I had a problem. I only found out in 2013, when I was 13 years old. After a psychological report was done, I found out that I had mild ADHD and I had 2 learning disorders. The symptoms of ADHD, one of them is being easily distracted. My focus may not be fully there, or it may seem that it's not there, but I'm trying in other ways to focus. One thing that I do if I'm listening to something or someone and there's maybe another noise, I have to look another way and then just focus on the person talking to me through my ear. So that may look like I'm being rude because I'm not facing that person. Sometimes when I lose my train of thought, that's when I feel that my ADHD is kicking in, yeah. But I find ways on how to still get what I need to be done, even though I have the difficulties. Hello.
Hi, I'm Jonah.
Hi, I'm Deidre.
Welcome to ABC.
Having a more invisible disability, it takes more effort to actually tell someone about it. I wouldn't say I'm ashamed of it, but it's just a bit more awkward for me to tell someone about it. I went to Tomo work in the year 2021. It was a talent accelerator program for digital skills, and I went to industry talks with big brands like Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google as well. It was a very fascinating time about knowing how these big companies are doing their part for diversity and inclusion.
So this is where we prove our dog, proofer.
Being a woman who can get married, can have children in the future, and need to take that maternity leave, that kind of puts women at a disadvantage sometimes. especially for someone like myself who may have a hidden special need. It may add a double layer of consideration for companies.
Do you like racing?
Yes. One thing that people like myself may be afraid of is being asked about our special need and how we think that it may affect our jobs. And that definitely brings me a lot of fear and nervousness.
Okay, so your break is out already.
But my ADHD, because I'm sensitive to my environment, I actually use it as a strength because I'm a lot more imaginative and I'm a lot more creative. Thank you. For me, growing up with 3 older sisters and also in an all-girls school for 10 over years, I find it easier to reach out to other women. I'm really glad that I've met Ms. Zora, who was my first mentor. I wanted some words of affirmation that I don't have to have it all figured out. I don't have to have this great plan or a big goal. So when Ms. Zora gave me advice, it sounded to me like a sisterly advice, and I could really feel her empathy and this genuine care for someone she doesn't even know. It felt like she was looking out for me. And I've written down in my book our conversations in my past. I feel stronger mentally when I recall our conversation. If given the opportunity at the right time, I can pass down that same comfort, that same energy to get through things. That's what Ms. Zora gave me during that time. Hey, not bad! Oh, the first one was actually very good.
Women are just pretty much a unique half of the population. And it's only women that will understand things that other women are going through. And it's something that we need to do to support each other, to empower each other, and to just really move forward together.
For women, supporting women, it's a very natural occurrence. We can be like sisters and we can just care for one another, and it shouldn't be something that is rare.
We can only see real change when we rise up together as our most authentic selves, because that's how we encourage each other to be ourselves rather than trying to become what society wants us to be. And I guess that's the message we should be sending out to society if we want to see change. Everyone should be doing the same thing. We did it!
All right.